Hey, Wallen. Good to see you. Went shopping for some SD cards this morning. Is there a reason for the prices to be dropping? Doing the tweet thing. I feel like things have been busy lately. Struggling to get everything set up quick. I don't know. 128 gigabyte for like 16 bucks. Wow. I think that's what I got from my Raspberry Pi 4. Yeah. I don't remember now. I think maybe. But I feel like it was definitely way more than that. Can't beat that though. Maybe. Oh. Forgot to turn it down. How's that? I was rushing to get everything all set up right before the stream. I still have to move my couch out of the way to put up the green screen. And the lighting is weird today because it started gloomy out. So I have a lamp to help backlight my green screen, but I broke it last time I used it, so I just stopped using it. But I kind of need it today. What can you do? If only there was more time in the day. So yes, the next issue we were looking at. Let's switch over to the display. Retroreflective chroma key. There we go. Just playing around with settings, I guess. What's retroreflective? I don't think I've ever heard that before. Oh. I mean, conceptually, I understand this picture, but functionally, I don't. Oh, I see. I think I see what you're saying. So the light needs to be coming. Oh, that's fine. Whatever. Different browser, but. Oh. In front of any background image or video using a retroreflective green screen, blue screen. Okay. So what you're... Yep, I got you. Okay. Yeah, I understood that part. Like, just from the... Why isn't featured chat working? I swear nothing is working today. Whatever. I understood the retroreflective part from this. And I think basically what it's... Yeah, it was the part, how does it work as far as the green screen goes? But you're saying the lighting needs to be coming from basically where the camera is, which makes sense. Oh, so you're saying the actual green screen material needs to be that. There, it's like a it's they don't really say it here. Oh, I guess they say a retroreflective fabric. There's like a there's like a special color of gray that's very accepting of light colors, right? Um, but you wouldn't. Are you? Cats are fighting. Holy cow! I don't know if you could hear that, but so the so hey. One cat likes to beat up on the other cat. Be right back. Be kind of a jerk. So with the retroreflective, the green screen itself doesn't actually have the color, right? You're casting light on it and that light is the color that you're keying out. But if you're doing like green, it basically uses specific reflective material to bounce back green light. Huh. Do you still have to light it with green? So the way I think I'm understanding it is the material will, when given green, bounce back green directly and everything else will be diffused. Can you play the video? I turned on the sound. Interesting. So the actual light is the thing that gives the color. Huh, that's kind of nifty. That's really interesting. Hmm. Yeah, so the um the issue that I kind of have too is I've got lighting from the side because I have a patio door right there, which is nice for the workday. Not so nice for lighting cameras. So to balance all that light out it's definitely not easy. It's interesting though. I don't know if I want to completely replace my green screen though. I don't know if I'm at that point that it bothers me enough. Anyways, Raspberry Pis. I will duly noted. I will keep that in mind. But let's bounce over the Raspberry Pi. Do I have my secondary camera set up? I'm gonna adjust it before I turn it on. Okay. Here we go. So there was a couple things that we were running into last time. And so I've got it started, it's turned on, I'm connected to it, and we were trying to get Firefox to install and run headlessly but we were having an error. I know, Walton, you had mentioned that we could use Chrome. Was it Chrome or Chromium? I don't remember. And the other idea I had too this morning / last night was using Playwright. Chromium. It was Chromium? Okay, Playwright. Because I think Playwright just got support for it. So I was like, well, they have a Python library. The way that it's set up right now is the script runs Firefox headless and then runs the actual like changing of the image and just invokes it directly, which is fine, but it doesn't work great for like within a server. Hey, B, one mind. Good to have you. So if we want to run like some sort of server, however we were running it, it would be nice not to have to like invoke child process or separate process kind of stuff. At least ourselves directly. So I was like, well, if we invoke it via Playwright, that might actually make our lives easier. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it installed. So that was one setback this morning. And then the other thing I was working on was where's my VS Code? Let's introduce to this. I think I actually have a repo or anything started for this. I was like, well, okay, if I could get that working, we'll figure it out on this stream. That's not the end of the world. We were already talking about it. So I was like, well, I'll hook up VS Code to I need to kill that starting thing too. Oh, nice. Forgot about that. So I was gonna hook up VS Code and do remote SSL. That's not working either. I swear, like nothing was working this morning. It's painful. And now Rust Analyzer is running. Stop it. Just stop it. I don't need an instance of it. Yep. I tell ya. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. I'm gonna bump up my OBS studio. Anytime Rust Analyzer runs, it just tanks this. I can see it skipping. I need to put it on my list to do that. Well, you can't see it. Do that by default when I open it up. Because anytime I open anything that is a Rust project, I'm gonna just start writing some of this down. Obsidian. Might as well just open all the programs at this point, right? Stream today is 2022 3/18. Template parsing error. I thought I fixed that. What is this? I swear, this is like the Friday of nothing working. Okay. We're gonna switch this to to-do. Okay. We want to. No, I completely forgot what we all needed to think about. Oh yeah, start. Start OBS with was it affinity? I can never remember if it's affinity or priority. I hit tab accidentally. I don't remember what the other thing I was going to do. Well, we can write down the retroreflective thing. We'll come back to that though. Oh yeah, I wanted to remove the VS Code start screen. I don't really need that anymore. And I close it every time. Anyways, okay. So yay, nothing working today. And I mean, we don't have anything in here. I think it's using the wrong terminal though. Connect to host. Yeah, so like nothing is working, I swear. So we're getting failed to parse remote port from server output. I've already fixed like 2 errors here too. Can't move this, can I? Remote SSH failed to. Gonna help me out, are you? Failed to parse remote port from server output. Hey, look at that. So what are we doing here? Connect to your server through the terminal and go and remove. Interesting. I wonder if like a borked install kind of thing. I guess we can just do this. .vs code server. Oop. Where else would that be? In boot media. I don't really see anything here. Oh, I'm already connected. Can you only have one? Is that my deal here? That would be annoying. No, I'm still getting this bad owner permissions thing. Yeesh. Failed to parse remote port. No, okay. Received install output. Bad owner or permissions. So this might not work. You definitely don't have to switch to retroreflective, just like sharing with tech. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I I'd heard there was a specific gray too that's very accepting of colors. So I think the idea there is that you can, I don't know that that's so much for keying specifically, but for backgrounds with different lighting, you can put it as a background and you can you use like a RGB LED and you can cast whatever light on it. And it's very like accepting of the light too. It's like a very specific color of gray. So if you wanted an orange background, you switch to orange and it looks very orange. But that retroreflective thing is really cool too. Are those pricey? Are they more pricey than a green? No, just like a normal green screen or a blue screen? I don't know what the deal with this is. Can I just like... Stupid getting started. All right, how do you turn off? Oh, I don't want to open up. I don't know why you're opening a remote. Just open up a new window. Oh my god, just go away. I don't know why. So like it just doesn't pull in my terminals when this opens up this new window. So I must have some like start thing just off. All right, we're gonna fix this because it's this code. Turn off start screen. I guess I could probably just do this. Start settings. Nope, I don't want the JSON. So welcome screen, I think they call it. None. Okay. Yeah, so when I just open up VS Code normally, all my terminals and whatnot are all good to go, it appears. Yeah, that's in my, but when I do whatever this remote SSH thing is doing, connect current window to host. It like reloads it and then just blitzes all the setup. I mean, I guess it's doing remote and using setup from the Raspberry Pi. But also like the errors are very much like Windows errors. Yeah, open SSH for Windows. So we might not be able to do that. So the bad owner permissions, I've like rebuilt or redid this file a couple times. It created it originally, and I think I like gave it bad permissions because I didn't have an SSH file in that folder. Failed to remote. Received install output. Bad owner or permission. There's like nothing there. All right, I'm gonna just straight up delete that file, and we'll see what we can do again. So I want to add new host. I've pretty sure I set this up with WSL and I did not have these kind of issues. So I don't. I tell you, it's just one of those days. I guess the port's still the same. Makes sense. I don't know if that. Yeah. Host added. Connect. Can't imagine this is going to change anything. It doesn't seem to actually recognize the platform either. I have to choose Linux every time. Got some output, clearing connection timeout. The process tried to write to a non-existent pipe. Install terminal command done. Install terminal quit with output. I wonder if there's just some weird installation error going on. So Raspberry Pi install remote VS Code. I think I'm pretty sure I looked at this. Yeah. Definitely not that easy. Um, I mean, it says it works with it. SSH is running since we've connected to it. I know I can SSH from this terminal. So unless VS Code's doing some funky stuff going on here. Away. I don't care. Remote SSH preferences. Is this it? Why didn't it open it? VS Code server on host. Open report issue, show log, uninstall VS. I'm actually a little curious what that's going to do. That is so weird. Okay. Settings. Enable remote commands. Local server download. Maybe we'd try that. I don't know if it's trying to download it in my terminal and then do the connection that or pass it over. But that feels like a weird error. What does that mean? Show login terminal. Yeesh. Okay. In current window. We might have to. I really want to like try to set this up. Change port. Local port. Opening a terminal on a remote host. Okay, that's nice. Debugging on the SSH host. Oh, I forgot I gotta click Linux. Yeah, what in the what? Installing a supported. I mean, we've got an SSH server, so like it should be fine. Well, all right. What the heck? Bad owner permission. Why is it a bad owner position? Permission. And why are you like destroying my terminal now? Oh my goodness. Oh, we don't have that anymore. That resolves that. Config. Nope. Oh, meant to do that. Keep it short and sweet. So it definitely seems like there's now an actual. So like that seems valid, and it just that error just destroys my terminal. That's so weird. Bad owner. What the hell? Okay. So I wonder if there's some issue with the way it's that error is returning. So that was new shell. This is bash. I wonder if there's some issue with new shell in it, the way it's returning, or some characters it's returning. I'm just going to go delete that file on the side. I'm going to create it through bash. We're going to not use new shell. Touch. And if something would work today. Oh. That would be most appreciated. Okay, so we've got a config file. Connect to host. I wish something worked today. Oh my gosh. That would be amazing. You unjinxed it, B1 Mind. What? The core architecture is not supported. I mean, we got further. Remote SSH. Let's look at the settings for it. I'm going to toggle back on the auto. Except nothing works in that terminal because whatever the deal is with that. Extension. Okay. I don't know if it what remote SSH. Let's try auto. Server install path. Show login terminal. I think all the other stuff is probably fine. Here, let's do it over here. In current window. What about it would not be supported? I mean, I don't even have the Raspberry Pi OS stretch. I think it's an ARM v7. I mean, it's stretch 9 plus. I don't have the 64-bit on here because I just wanted this to work. So it seems like it's supported, right? Let's do remote SSH uninstall. Okay. Raspberry. It's gonna be just a whole stream of me just trying to get VS Code. Well, all right. So that's fun. Can we on arms? Some extensions may not work, which is fine. I don't really need any extensions. I'd be fine if I didn't have any. I don't have any special settings. Forwarding a port, watching ports, opening a terminal on a remote host. I mean, I'm not worried about like things not working on stream. I appreciate the sentiment, but it's just been one of those weeks where nothing works, and it would be great to end the weekend something actually working. But you know, this would be on brand for this week, I guess, for me. I mean, I don't think it has any actually connectivity issues. Yeah, I mean, like, I would like things to work because this week has been the opposite of that. But also B, it's not terribly amazing content for you're all just watching me play around with VS Code settings, you know. Got this thing out. Where's my finger? I want to do stuff with that. All right. Let's just make sure that we got RPI. We don't have any other Raspberry. Remote VS Code Raspberry Pi. Is there like a? I just want to install it directly. Like I gotta imagine there's like an apt-get VS Code server or something, right? Blah blah blah. It doesn't though. Once read, you can connect your VS Code. First, you have to make sure you have that installed. I wonder if it's an issue with Windows to the RPI. Does Raspberry Pi use app or apt-get? App. App. Search VS Code server. And I also want to get this. It would be nice to get Playwright working. If we have to, we'll do Chromium. I mean, at this point, I would take anything really. Nothing. VS Code. I wonder if it is the like the headless thing. Is this expecting to only? This doesn't even have VS Code in its name. Go library for fuzzy string matching. That isn't helpful. Thank you, though. You did get the same errors I was getting. Okay, well, I mean, at least it's not just a me thing, you know? No, you didn't mention it. But thanks for giving that a shot too. We might just have to do Chromium. If I can't get Playwright to work either, I mean, we could try. I don't know what else we could try. I did do the upgrade, so pip should be. We shouldn't have an error issue there. So when I do pip install Playwright, could not find the versions. I don't know if it's just I wonder if the version that supports Raspberry Pi just has not been put up on PyPI or something. I guess maybe we could check that. PyPI. Oh, it's .org, isn't it? Playwright. We got 1.2 as of March 15th. So that's the latest here. Release notes have Raspberry Pi came in 17. Playwright now supports Ubuntu 20. So does that mean I have to be running Ubuntu 20 for Playwright to work? It works on Raspberry Pi only in the consideration of you're using ARM64 Ubuntu 20, not actually Raspbian. I saw Raspberry Pi, I'm like, okay, it works on Raspbian, but no. This is specifically the ARM64 support. So maybe that won't work. Maybe we can't do Playwright then. We might have to switch to Chromium. I don't remember what I was doing there. Install VS Code server install on Raspberry Pi. I don't know that'll matter if I misspelled it, but I wonder if I just install VS Code directly. How old is this? They're downloading stuff directly. February 4th. So blah blah blah. We need to install VS Code server. Oh, what? Really? Unfortunately, the project failed for me. Fun. So, is VS Code not supported on Raspberry Pi either? Am I VS Code remote SSH? I mean, it said it was. Is there an info command? I'm completely blanking, and if there's like an info command or something that we can get the architecture. Raspberry Pi, which OS am I running? Sure. That actually worked pretty well. Bullseye doesn't say what version 11. Oh, I did try Firefox because I don't know if it should be supported. I was using it with Flask. It being the VS Code, remote SSH. I want to upgrade right now. But it might have been on the Pi 4. I wonder, so I'm quite certain this is the 32-bit Bullseye. I mean, it says it right there, which is the newest one. VS Code and remote SSH with port forwarding. But you didn't do it out of Windows. So I wonder if it must be some weird Windows with the Raspberry Pi thing. And I don't know if... I suppose I could try it here. I've got a Mac right here. So I'll add the remote SSH on here. Okay, it's installed. Um, okay, it is connecting. Are you sure you want to continue? Yes, I do want to continue. I'm wondering if it is Windows to this issue. The remote host architecture is not supported. So this is the like non... I'm trying to close tabs so I have less than 30-second latency. That's funny. You can also, here, we will show you the tricky trick. I think I might have showed this last time, but if we go to, I'm gonna hear myself, so I'm gonna mute that for a second. If you go into the settings and advanced, you can see video stats. It tells you your latency to the broadcaster. There's two modes. There's low latency and not low latency. If you toggle it, it actually refreshes the stream. So you can toggle it on and off, and it'll actually refresh the player without having you to refresh the whole browser and everything. So you still can stay connected to the IRC chat and what have you. But it actually does refresh the stream, and usually that improves the, or it reduces the latency after a refresh, especially if you're like way far behind. Let me know if you got that. I might have got you right on a refresh. So, so SSH is not working here either. I'm still getting the remote host. Architecture is not supported. So it must be something just with the that may have helped. Sweet. I read that right as I saw it. But it does on that screen show you the latency. So I mean you should be able to. Seems to be pretty realistic. But I tried it on the Mac. 2 seconds. Sweet. I tried it on the Mac. Same error. So I think it might be something with the because there's more than one type of Raspbian. There's the 32-bit and there's the 64-bit. And there's the with desktop and the OS Lite. I did the OS Lite because I was not expecting to have any use case for having the actual desktop. And I wonder if that's the issue. I wonder if they've only tried it with the with desktop version. That's my guess. Which is frustrating. I think I do have Git on here. So I mean I could do the Git pull and push stuff, which is annoying, but because I don't think I'm gonna be able to get the remote stuff working. We'll have to play around with that. And it doesn't look like Playwright's gonna work either. So I think we're down to only using Chromium, right? On brand, I guess. There's really nothing else out there either that could do this. Playwright is using. It uses Puppeteer directly, right? Or did they actually split that all out now? So we're kind of SOL on any. Right? I mean, I guess the only thing we can really use is Chromium. I gotta imagine that when you're installing like this error, I bet you it would work just fine with the Ubuntu stuff if we had a browser. If you want a page and you don't want to paint it manually. Picture me, legit physically painting it. Yeah. All right, let's try the Chromium. Let's get something working at least today. So we can't do remote VS Code for whatever reason. Let's try remote VS Code remote SSH Raspberry Pi Lite. Just curious if that comes up at all. I think you could build an image and send it to the screen. Use the nightly SSH. Yeah, see, just straight up doesn't install. So I don't know if they're downloading. I mean, they say they're using Lite here. So supposedly they're using Lite, so maybe it's not specifically that. might try uninstalling real quick. Maybe there was just a weird installation issue. Can we see what version of what do they got? Okay, so they did Buster. And what do we don't have Buster, do we? We've got Bullseye. I wonder if that's it. You can build an image and send it to the screen, but you'd have to do all the layout calculation. Yeah, no. I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, no. I've looked at Servo. I'm curious if we can pull out pieces of that. And I know some other people that are more involved with the project are as well. Pull out pieces of that to use that layout code for these sort of situations. Okay, and this is 2019. So I think part of it too is just I think it's a little bit newer. Oh, I can never remember what we're on. Bullseye. I think it's a little bit newer version. I kind of wonder if there's some mismatch there. You're getting the same error. Okay. Oh, okay. ARM. Oh, well, okay. This is old. Weird. Okay. Well. All right. Let's do the Chromium thing. Frackberg. How's it going? How are you? Good to see you. Congrats on the certs, by the way. Certs, is that the word? What language do they use? Just say posted. I guess certs. Yeah, I believe that. I believe that. Brain mush. I completely feel that. I don't have AWS certs, but I've done similar licensing things like that, and I completely understand where you're coming from. Okay, let's try Chromium. If we have to do this, where we're like child process showing out or whatever, like so be it. In which case I might try switching to something other than a Flask server. We'll see. Chromium, Raspberry Pi. I don't know if you have to do a special like headless thing. Can you just do Chromium browser? Okay, pass fail immediately, but it takes them 2 weeks to deliver scores. Yeah, I feel that. The Chromium browser didn't install. Cool. Let me run that right away. Sudo apt get. Hey, finite singularity. How are you? Thanks for stopping by. Is it apt-get? Apt and apt-get are not interchangeable, right? I haven't done enough like updating and maintaining Linux to know off the top of my head. You totally didn't just cram what you needed to pass the test or anything. They are, okay. I thought at some point they were like different, or maybe there was more than one package manager, but maybe that's some old thing that I'm remembering and I'm just conflating the two. But prefer apt these days, so they're just like aliases, I presume. Yeah, I did. So the tests that I were taking were 8-hour exams, and we would take the exam. It was written, and it would take, was it like 12 weeks, I think, to hear anything? We literally didn't even get a pass or fail. They hand graded these. And it would take us 12 weeks to find out. It was rough. They do handle depth somewhat differently. Okay, so they are somewhat different. Okay. All right, we'll close some things. Thanks for the follow. Hey, our music stopped. Got to the end of the playlist. What time we got? I'm feeling some chiptune. Very like retro electronic-y. Feels appropriate. Thanks. SSHCon. I feel like that's a. Is that a Stream Elements thing? Like I don't understand what's triggering these little heart love things too. I think that's like the only emoji that I have. I need to deal with that. But anyways, interesting. Okay, so we'll let that do its thing. Playwright's a bust. VS Code is a bust. I could probably do VS Code connected. Does your Pi 3 have well, what version of OS is your Pi 3 on? My guess is it's either a Bullseye, an issue with Bullseye, or it's an issue with it being light. I'm guessing it's Bullseye specifically because there was a couple articles that we saw that mentioned they were installing a Buster Light. I think they changed some of their like backend setup stuff between Buster and Bullseye because I was also having similar issues with well not similar but seemingly situation related issues where things that I was trying to install were failing, and it seemed like because the what was it? Like the URLs that everything was pointing to, like the registry was still out of date. Okay, version 9. Okay, yep. So it must be something with Bullseye then. No bueno. No bueno. I mean, honestly, for this project, I'd be half tempted to just do that. I mean, I suppose I could set up like a Git server and push to it directly. You had an issue with the latest Raspbian, Mongo not available or something. Okay, you did just switch to Ubuntu. I don't know. It might be worth just trying a different OS at this point. Like the amount of issues that I've had with Bullseye. Okay, so let's grab Chromium. Created, finished. Mongo wasn't available for latest Debian, so it was easier at the moment to just jump to Ubuntu. Makes sense to me. All right. Actually, we need to go. I think the test case that we were looking at is in their examples. Where was it? Advanced, I guess. Advanced. Are we? Oh, you know what? I should flip flop these. I forgot about that. I'm sitting here typing, and you're gonna have like a super delayed. No, I'm in the way. Jesus. Okay, we'll deal with that. I also really when it comes to fixing things in my home lab. Yeah. I think the command I used was the same as the FF1. Okay. So we could actually do. I mean, I guess it's not an advanced. Oh, it's like HTML or something, is it? Yeah. So we could actually just do. What did I do wrong? Yes, that's fine. Override it. Okay. I should not use VI enough to. I is insert. Oh, does delete doesn't work, does it? Oh, and you can't arrow key either. Is that what it is? No. Backspace doesn't work. I do not have the patience for this right now. This is why I wanted to sub VS Code. I didn't want to have to try to remember this. Is VI different? VI is different from Vim, isn't it? I don't think we have Vim on here. It's slightly different, right? No. Chromium browser, headless, disable GPU. Okay, that makes sense. Might have Nano. I don't know if I know Nano better than VI. Nano. Oh. The big one is just don't use arrow keys in insert mode. We'll just use Nano. That works. Vim is VI improved. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, like they're similar enough that like when I try to use them, I use them like, you know, 4 times a year. Chromium browser. Disable GPU. Yeah, honestly, I don't really care. It's just having to remember them. I'm fine with nano. And oh no, now I need to do. I gotta remember how to get out of nano. Right out. Um, how often you open Vim and like people that are proficient with it, Emacs, Vim, whatever, like whatever floats your boat. You get used to the thing, and you can work with it just fine. Um, no, I can't for the life of me remember how to. I know how to exit out of Vim. Is it Control X? Oh, um, yeah. Here we go. Yep. Control. Yep. Control X. Um, okay. So we should be able to. It's all those certs. You're a pro now. Okay, so we're getting some failed loads. No such file. Oh, you know what? It's not gonna. Hey, it's updating though. Whoop 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 whoop. It reminds me of what is that from? It's got to be some oldie show where it does like a Doppler effect kind of hum, like wah 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 wah. That's what it reminds me of. All right, why are you having trouble focusing on this? It's just a screen. Okay, I did not pass out a file, so what let's go to the here we go. Yeah, it's just pass out a file. You thought I removed it. What did I remove? I switched it. You mean like hard coded the file name in there? I think it's still dynamic. Yeah, it was a parameter. It was a parameter. I saw something that looked. It, why are you having such issues focusing on this? Like the blinking just like freaks out this camera apparently. Come on, focus. Hey. So something's working. Exiting GPU process due to error initialization. I mean, we turned it off, didn't we? I mean, we got something. We got something. Half the other stuff didn't work, but like, suppose I can make this a little bit bigger too. Disable GPU, right? So why is it exiting a GPU process if we're disabling it? Pass-through is not supported. GL is disabled. Maybe disabled GPU doesn't work. It kind of seems like maybe it does not work. Can we do Chromium browser help? What do we got? Proxy server, new window, incognito. Chromium has hundreds of undocumented command line flakes that are added and removed at the whim of the developers. Lovely. Let's just try running it without it. I'm curious what it'll say. Chromium browser headless screenshot window size. I think I can just pass it directly then. HTML. Oh no, it's not HTML. That's why it's not working. Hello world. I was like, why is my tab complete not working? Okay, so similar. Well, I guess more errors. So we've got like 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. My light is breaking. My I think I need to check that light. At least the. Oop. It just like fell off. There's a thread asking to make it unneeded. It seems like it's stuck now. So I mean, maybe it's still needed. The errors are kind of odd, but like. I mean, it is what it is, I guess, right? So, I mean, we got something at least. I'm just gonna stop that. It doesn't seem like it's actually gonna finish. It kind of seems like you actually do need it. Oh yeah, I have it embedded in there, don't I? Yeah. It doesn't actually seem to finish if I'm not. If I don't pass that. Yeah. So it seems like you have to. I don't know what the deal with the errors are. Failed to load Chromium by. Cannot open shared object file. So I mean, it looks like there's a bunch of stuff that it's expecting to see, but like it kind of looks like they just need to update their error messages to consider that flag. Because if you disable GPU, maybe those are like it doesn't need those. I don't know enough. I don't know enough about C to know how you'd actually deal with that, but it works with it. It doesn't work without it. So I think you do need the flag. All right, so we've got Chromium browser working at least. We pretty much have to run it in the command line, which is frustrating. What other options do we got? I mean, I guess we just have to basically run could try loading a remote web page. Yeah. So it's hard coded right now, I think. To expect a file, right? So if I do, I don't know what their AP or what their command line is like, but like if we did, I don't know how this is gonna work, but it doesn't seem to fail. We'll see how this ends up looking. It's a pretty small aspect ratio. Now we do image .py screenshot. Detected. Hey, so it does seem like it's gonna work. My color scheme isn't terribly involved. There we go. Probably shouldn't drag it around too much on the table, but default to light mode. So that, I mean, it works. So we just have to do, like if we set up a Flask server or something, we're basically just running this command and passing it. We're passing it something, which is likely going to be, I guess we could just pass it a URL. Yeah, look at that responsiveness. Hey. I'm not gonna lie, most of that's not me. I think I used what did I use for this? Tailwind. That's it. That's the word I was looking for. I just relied on Tailwind. CSS is not my strong suit, which is fine. I can't be amazing at everything. And apparently I can't be amazing at any any Raspberry Pi stuff today, other than whatever Walton is telling me to do. I really don't want to just like child process out kind of thing in the Flask server though. That feels not great. I mean, until maybe some of this other stuff is going to be better supported in the future, so we could swap it out. Like it wouldn't be the end of the world. But I'm definitely not going to want to use Nano or VI or whatever to edit this stuff. So, It's working. It's a win. I think I can't expect Playwright to support this anytime in the near future. So presuming that, and presuming we're going to have to rely on Chromium, so we're going to have to do some sort of like child process stuff. We want to run a server. We can run that and have it async. It's been like, I don't know, what year are we in? 2022? 6-7 years since I used Flask, I guess. I'd be faster in JavaScript. And I'm quite familiar with the child process stuff there. So I can make that work. I know I can make that work. So then it would be, I suppose if I develop it locally, I get it running. I could do most of the server stuff, check that locally, and then we just push it up. And I can use, could we set up a Git server on this, I guess? You have to have a Git server running to do a Git push to it, right? Because we could do like a Git push to the remote. I wouldn't have to mess around with SSH in that case, right? But you, right? You have to have a Git server running to do a Git push to it. Yeah, okay. I'm not misremembering there. So Git server on a Raspberry Pi. Because there are like little blah blah blah. There are like little Git servers now that, like, is Gitpada? No, that's not what I'm thinking of. Isn't there like a Git server? You could set up Git in a remote repo and pull it down. Yeah. Then I would have to do the auth stuff. I mean, I guess it's probably easiest. Just SSH into this and do a Git pull. What time we got? Let's see if we can try that real quick. I can do some of the auth stuff off to the side if I need to. No. Am I logged in here? I think I am actually. Yep, I am. Okay. Let's make a new repo. Let's press the button real quick. Does I don't have the button here? The window too small? Nope. RPI server. Public is fine. Sure. You can do keyless Git if you don't want to keep re-authing. I mean, I'm going to do it seldom enough that I'd almost not. Like, I feel like it'd almost be more work messing with the keys. I am kind of curious about. I mean, if I would do this, I would have to also get Node on this thing. Do I have Node on here? Node. No, I do not. I guess I could just do Flask then. See if I can do a Git pull. Yeah. Oh, let's get into. I really need to get better at. I don't know if this actually supports it. No, I'm kind of curious. Is that a Linux thing where you can, or is that a Zush thing where you can do like so if I do one, like if do that, yeah, okay. Is that a Zush thing? I switch enough between these shells that I don't. I should set that up on other shells because that would be that's nice to have. Sure, we'll just do this. Now it's HTTPS. Oh, did I use my? We're on the overhead. I did that intentionally because I wasn't sure how I was gonna auth. Okay. So that'll work. I mean, we can do. Let's see if we can spin up a. Does Flask / Python have like a quick bootstrapping templates? I don't remember now. Or well, they didn't back when I was actually doing it, but believe me, 100%. Oh, wink. I think it used my keys or my auth from a main terminal because I didn't have to do anything there. Flask. I do kind of want to try out Fastify at some point. It seems like a nifty replacement or alternative to Express. But I don't have Node installed. And at this point, like, I just want something working. So Python, no, Flask. We want Flask. Wow, their docs have not changed in a while, have they? I mean, I guess I just do Flask run, eh? Still using VM for right? I guess that's still a thing. It says Python 3, right? Do I have Python? I have Python here, right? Yep, I do. No version, but I don't think it'll make a difference. I don't know if I've got that installed though. Oh. Oh. So what did that do? Ah, okay. Doesn't seem like it did anything. I got a bunch of prompt overwriting stuff though. So pip install Flask. Do your thing. Do a route. So I think what I'll end up having is basically two routes: a like refresh route, and then a route that actually serves the HTML. Sure, fine, whatever. I don't really care that it's outdated. Let's see if we can get a route real quick. save it to hello pi or something similar. All right, what I'm gonna do is this, and I'm gonna just move this window up a little bit. Okay. Touch server.py. So we're gonna have gotta run. Have a good day. Thanks for stopping by, James. Letting my my Midwest out here. I don't know if y'all have heard of that. Oh, seems to be like a Midwest thing. AutoPep is not installed. Yeah, sure, why not? We can install it, sure. Is Pep8 is still a thing, right? Because there was like a Python Black or something at some point. I don't remember if that's still a thing or not. Oh, I need to do it. I have to pipe it, don't I? Why? Oh. Okay, yep, okay, alright, I got it now. Pip freeze requirements.txt. Alright, so we want 3 routes. We want a refresh. We want a what do I call it? Picture? Sure. Now we should do, what is it? Flask run. URL building, rendering. Flask run. That's no. I do not remember having to do that. So server, I'm presuming, is what it is. Oh, yeah, okay. All right. Let oh boy, okay. This is the development server. Close you. You're not going to actually work anymore. All right, so what do we, oh. View function mapping is overriding existing endpoint function. Yep. So we got home, we need a refresh, and we need a picture. So the idea here is that picture will be the actual why is that warning us there? Flask, import Flask cannot be resolved. Interesting. So the idea here is the homepage is just whatever, but we want to refresh, so I can just like rewrite it to white or something. I think we want a picture which actually does the Oh, I guess we wanted to like a data too then, eh? So, well, no, we want a refresh will, here, let's comment it out. Whoop. Refresh will clear the screen. A data will be the thing, the web page that we are drawing. And then the picture is going to be, what was I thinking? I want an endpoint that we can hit, and it will, so this will be the trigger. Maybe I'll call it draw. This will be the trigger that causes a page re-render. So now we should be able to do localhost 5000. Okay, so we've got that. Let's pull in this Inky real quick. This Inky script to clear it. Time.sleep, interesting. Clear.py. And we want to run that. Responses, sessions, logging. I think we want to Python does async now, right? I think it does. Yeah, I definitely remember. Okay, so escape routing variable rules. Like as soon as we return, it's going to logging. I basically want to like spin off this async. If we return, it's going to return. So like we would say draw. The drawing process has begun. But if we're returning that, we don't want it to wait on the whole redraw before it actually returns the HTML. Rendering templates. Oh, I forgot about that. Jinja, yes. Jinja, I remember you. Can you do async? await async define. With the async extra, okay. So background tests. Cannot spawn background tasks. You can spawn async IO test by serving Flask. That sucks. So we basically have to wait for this to happen. Which is frustrating. Like it's gonna be like a 30-second response. Okay, so like if we do, what is clear? It's basically just a script. Inky auto true. So like if we do from calendar import clear. Can I just do this then? I think I could just execute it that way. It's been a while since I did Python. Holy cow. My html.py function handles clearing the screen. I don't remember. Oh no, well, yes. So I also want just a separate clear. Did I put it on the right one? No, I didn't. Here, this is what I meant to put it on. I want to clear for just like a refresh it kind of thing. But the image.py does do. I guess it just goes straight to the image. So we can do image.py. We'll dump that in there. It's fine. Define draw image. So from image import draw image. So I'm presuming that that's all synchronous. Show set image. I'm assuming that's all synchronous, right? It seems like it blocks it. So if we did a, let's just push this up. Thought I freezed. It's the double. Gonna remember which one is which. Okay. Random question. One of the coolest gadgets that I've seen was on a Disney cruise ship. They had these enchanted paintings which looked like static paintings, but then they would suddenly animate. The way the overhead light cast shadows on the paint did not look like an LCD, was but more like e-ink. However, they were quite big and extremely detailed. These e-ink screens are expensive. I can't imagine that those are e-ink. So Walton actually, I bet you Walton could probably grab the link. But they shared last time, this was last week, right? There was like a $2,500 e-ink display, and they put a newspaper on it. So I mean, it was big, but not like, I mean, it's bigger than like an 8x10. Yeah, you saw that as well. Like, I can't imagine that they're putting, $4,000 e-ink displays on there, and they also flash too. Oh, you shared it in their Discord? Nice. They flash too when they update, and I think even the monochrome ones do that as well. So I can't imagine it's that. I wonder if it's the actual. So from what I understand of displays, you can use glass, but you can also put different types of finishes on there. So I wonder if it was just a normal screen with a different finish, like a matte finish or something, and that made it seem like a matte finish on a display, basically. That feels more likely to me than an e-ink. Yeah, I guess long story short, I would be surprised if it was e-ink. Hi, Kitty. Is it time to say hi? Come on. Tail goes down. Maybe that was it. It looks so natural. You can do a lot with lighting. Digitally casting a shadow over the image too. I mean, so like this reminds me of the I can't think of the word now. I think they have a special word for it, but there's like the displays where they'll do a projection on a building, and they'll do it to music or whatever too, but they play off the 3D shapes of the building with LCD being self-emissive. Yeah, well, yeah, I think that would probably be the. I wonder if they just did something with a different type of display that wasn't as self-emissive. I mean, that could be. So some of the, like, you think of the old Game Boys or whatnot, you needed a light to be able to see them. I wonder if it was sort of in that style where they were less or not self-emissive, and they were lighting it, and that was where the light was coming from. So you're so used to seeing screens and attributing the self-emissiveness to it being a screen, that if you don't have the self-emissive anymore, it doesn't feel like a screen. Samsung, their frame uses brightness to make the image look flat. I was also watching a video about I think it's Samsung just coming out with this it's quantum dot OLED, QD-OLED. Yeah, so there's this Alienware. Random links on stream can't be bad, right? Here, okay. So they're rather than using a white backlight and filtering to get the right colors, they're using blue backlights and converting, which actually lets them keep the brightnesses higher, because filtering you lose some color. So like I wonder if they're doing something special. It doesn't glow like a regular computer screen. Yeah, I think I think it's just you have just in general I mean you royal you we have just a connection with, if it is self-emissive, we presume it's a screen. Um, why is that? Oh, Chrome. Um, yeah, like we see self-emissive and attribute that to it being a screen. So if they have if they avoid the self-emissive in any way or reduce it more than normal, it feels less of like a screen. Yeah, right. I was talking, so I didn't. Okay. Yeah, and like I think that matte and the glass kind of throw it off too, because there's an extra gap there. Um, and like just reducing that self-emissive enough, and you get the just the natural shadows from the frame. The frame TVs have an art mode. Oh, that's interesting. The brightness and the color tone of the display adjust the ambient lighting. Yeah, I think it's that. I would be very surprised if they're actually using eInk. Okay. Um, the shadow is digital as well. That's hard to say. The matte is big enough though, and thick enough that you get the shadow. I would not be surprised if the shadow is realistic. Like they've got some bright lights on it. So doing like a matte screen rather than like a glossy glass, having that thick matte and then another piece of like actual glossy glass in front of it, it makes you get the depth and you get the shadows the way they're lighting it, and you get that natural like there's glass in front of this picture look. And I think that's just obscuring the things that would generally inform your brain that it's a display. I think. I'm by no means an expert, but that would be how I'm reading it. Okay, so I think we've got nothing. Whatever. I'm just gonna copy and paste. It's one of these days. We're doing what we can. We're doing what we can. So we've got endpoints. Let's just push this up. Rough out server. And we're going to then pull it down. Go off to the side, please. Thank you. We'll pull it down there, and then we'll run it, and we'll see what it does, and then that might end up being the end of the stream. RPI server. What's the server with the ink? What do we got in there? They do have bright lights. I tried to simulate it with the digital picture frame here, and it was totally a no-go. Yeah, I saw on stream you had the. Are you talking about that like LED like marquee display that you have? shadow just didn't look real due to the glow from the LCD. Yeah. You don't have Disney's budget. Yeah. Feel that. Feel that. Why do I have to rebase? Up to date. What? Did I not just push? Did I forget to push? Oh, I didn't push. Whoppity wop wop. You've got a 27-inch digital frame from an old LCD that you made. Nice. I've always kind of wanted to do that. But I think the thing that ended up deterring me was we got Chromecasts or like, you know, Android TV built-in stuff that just hooked up to our Google Photos album. So I was like, well, I wanted this and now I have it and now I don't feel like I need to do it anymore. But I thought about doing something like that for a while. So this I think is sort of my like my adjustment of that want to do, like I wanted to do something like that, and like this is sort of still in the same vein. All right, well, what is that environment variable again? Quick start, sure. Export Flask app. Pip install. I think I've got I pulled down the requirements, right? Smart mirror would be fun too. Yeah, I've seen the smart mirrors. Those just as like a general like a Raspberry Pi type project. Those seem pretty nifty too. More reason for you to try one. You know, speaking of two-way glass, I was watching it was, I think it was from like a good year ago, but Adam Savage, the person from Mythbusters, they have a channel called Tested, and they do one-day builds. I presume that some of you are probably familiar with it, just considering your interests. But the build they were doing was I think it was a decahedron, and they made it out of like plexiglass or something and applied a one-way mirror to it, to where in this thing, the one-way mirror was that you could see into it. So you're looking through the one-way mirror, whatever you call it, like the paper stuff, whatever it's called. You look through infinity cube type thing. Yep, you look through, you can see through it, and then you see the mirror on the other side. You get all the reflection. And then what they did is they wired LED along all of the edges, and I'm pretty sure it was a decahedron. This type of shape is infinitely stackable. So you, with the one-way mirror and the lighting, you'd look into this and it looked like the infinity cube thing really like jumped out because you could see all the edges, all the lights lighting all the edges internally. It was super cool. Like it was one of those things where it's like, it is physically 3D, but you look into it and it just, like, they would pan around it and you're looking at this thing, but you can only see into it. So it feels flat in like it feels flat, but in a way that it's almost like a portal into this like infinity cube thing. It was super cool to see. On video, it looks amazing. I can't imagine how it looks. I'm sure Walton's right on the money for it, right? Yes. Hey, there we go. It wasn't a dodecahedron. It was a dodecahedron. However you say it. That's the one. Yes, it was a long one. I watched it while I was editing one of the streams from one of the previous streams. But yeah, it was that looks super nifty. That would be cool to do. I don't think my wife would appreciate more stuff around the house, but okay. Well, you must give. Don't I have? Yes. Pip. Do you have to do anything special for requirements files? I don't remember now. Pip install requirements. Oh, you got to do R. Yep. Okay. Pip install -R. You watched him build a portable solder station. Nice. More excuse for a man cave. I think we're gonna need a new house if that ever is gonna happen. Okay, we're getting stuff now. Cool. I think before I get a man cave, I need to find more time. This is my fun time. I get fun time once a week, and then the rest is family time, man shed. Between family time and work, and I do a bunch of open source projects too. This is like my fun playtime. Okay. Something? Give me something. You can do it. Oh. Dang it. I copied it and forgot to change it. We're just going to call this data, I guess. I'm so used to the like the hot refreshing, hot reload. I totally didn't realize that I needed to like rerun it again just to check. So let's just run it just in case. Well, importing server import was raised. Okay, no module named Inky. Fine. Pip freeze. Okay, pip. I think you can simulate some of this stuff too, the Inky. Oh, that looked wild there for a second. Import image, pill. I think I have pill installed already. Oof. Okay, well. Does this actually change anything? No, it didn't. Whatever. I've got it installed. Globally in the other one. Gliding defs. Already up to date. What is that error? I was just reading over it, playing with it. Oh, okay. Yes, I want to do fast forward only. Okay. It's like those things that you set up months and years ago, and then you just forget that you have it set up, and then when you run in there, you're like, "What is this? I haven't seen it. It's because I haven't seen it before in my recent memory. Okay, so let's run this thing again. Fingers crossed this works. I think we'll try the clear and then we'll try the image is just gonna do the screenshot. Okay, okay. So now I should be able to, in my browser, there we go. And then we should be able to do, look at me remembering all my endpoints. Refresh, clears the screen. And I think this is gonna block. It's gonna spin for quite a while. Look at that. Like, this isn't great from a web page perspective. So I might actually switch off of, well, if Flask can't do, I really, I really don't want to have to like set a bulk queue to deal with this. So there, I don't know if we can make it bigger. Might be able to see it. You can see a little bit of a haze. Oh, it's still going. It's still going. It's not done. See, like that's the other thing. I'm not getting any output here either. It would be nice to see some output. And I know I could like stream those logs. There we go. There we go. I think it's done. You can see a haze though. You still can kind of see the outline. And like that's the ghosting. You can write, like rewrite it multiple times in different colors to like get rid of the ghosting. But I wonder what it is like. Like, does it make sense to do that every time you write it? Doesn't feel like it. I think it's noticeable specifically because I went from almost all white to just completely white. So you get a little bit of the ghosting here, and you can see a little bit of the text down here. Let's try. I'm gonna stop this real quick. I'm going to rerun the. Oh, I don't have a screenshot here, do I? If you're still there, Welton, what was that one website that? No, I guess draw image. So we need a screenshot. Yeah, that'll work. There was that one. It's not Unsplash that you could give it the actual size of a picture and it would crop it for you. Do we still have them on here even? We might. Actually, I might have deleted them. No, I didn't. I didn't, did I? They're in here, aren't they? Images. Yes. Okay. The cliff houses was pretty cool. So we're just gonna move it. Pick some, that's what it was. And we want to move it to, this would take us up to 7 color. Examples, Inky, Pamori. RPI server. Did I get that right? Cliff houses. Yes, pick some photos. I went too high up today. Uh-oh. Where did I put it? Aha, dang it. Really? Come on. Not a directory. Okay. Yeah, so all right, we're just gonna grab a new one. Oh my goodness, keep going up too high. Stev. Okay. We're gonna curl one in real quick. So pick some photos. The 600 by 448 is the size of our screen, so we can do curl that into screenshot.jpg. And now we can do our image is draw image is looking for a thing called, oh, we need to pass it. Shoot. So it's using a system arg. So we're just gonna hard code that. And we're gonna call it screenshot.jpg. We're gonna get rid of this arg parsing. That's all fine for right now. Shoot. So the draw image thing that we had pulled in, I assume I was unclear about what I was doing. You could add it as an image on your web page and try to render it. Oh, I mean, I just need an image, so I could just grab it directly, which I did here. I curled it in. So we'll find out what image we curled in a second. But this command that I grabbed, yeah, this one doesn't. It expected some command line inputs, so it was doing some arg parsing. Git commit. Image function doesn't need args. Hard code for now. Okay. So now we should have a thing in there, and now we can run that command that I'm too lazy to type and is not immediately available in my history. There we go. And we're going to visit /draw, and we'll see what it does. And I think that is probably going to be the end of our stream. So this is it. It is loading these immediately, so we should probably put that at like the top of the file because we only really need to do that once. Error in app, exception on draw, get. Okay, what? Oh, there's a scroll. Cannot identify. Interesting. So is it... All right, well, I'm going to move this right away because I'm talking about it and thinking about it. Okay, I'd actually... oh. So maybe I do actually need to put in the function. It feels odd, but... Okay. Now... Draw image. Image.resize. Image.open. Pill image open. Does it just need to be relative? I assume it needs to be. I did already git commit. Move Inky import to, or Inky net to function. Can't see the code, so oh, haha. Heavy sigh. All right, cannot identify image file. Did I spell it right? Screenshot.jpg. Screenshot.jpg. I've got it there. Screenshot.jpg. Unidentified image. Cannot identify image file. I presume that's a pathing issue. What is the command that gives you information about this stuff? It was ls no dir is no gosh, Linux info about file. Is it LA? Okay. Yes, it was LA. Okay. So that's probably why it's 0 bytes. What did I do wrong in my curl? Is it this one? I'm having trouble remembering, like, that should work, right? Curl that, pipe it in the screenshot.jpg. That's what I did last time, right? Now what if there's some resolution stuff there? Curl, pick some photos. I wonder if it's like a, is the redirect in there? Curl that. Screenshot.jpg. There we go. Yeah. With the trailing slash. That could have been it. That might have been it. It seems like there's some like redirect thing going on there. Or something with the URL that it wasn't linking. That it was not actually returning a JPEG. Okay. Give this a second to run. Could not convert string to float. So that must be a dithered thing. Because we were using dither on those, weren't we? Try with trailing slash will follow redirects. Yeah, that was probably it then. If trailing slash follows redirects. Gosh, I just want this to work. So images. I mean, this one should work. Doom scrolling, get GIF. GIF. So like we could do this because we're probably going to want dithering anyways, so that's fine. Well, I'll want something like that. So there's gonna, I think there's gonna be like 2 endpoints. I suppose I could just spin it up right now. I'm this deep into it already. What's the difference? We want to do snap.py. Let's do this. We'll grab this. We want to do draw picture. Well, we'll do a snapshot. So the idea here that I'm thinking, dither is not defined. The idea here is that I also want to have an endpoint where people get to like snap a picture and upload it to it, and then like have it just show up on this wherever the screen is here. So it's fine having another endpoint real quick. Draw. And then we'll worry about the HTML stuff next time. Snap. And we'll do an import. Draw a snapshot. Oh, too much JavaScript. Import. No, from snap. Import this. There we go. And snap. So snap is going to look for a so you're giving it an actual args format. Okay, so they're dynamically doing a saturation. And art. Yeah, okay, image. So we'll do snapshot.jpg. And we've got Inky, float, saturation. It's going to be 0.75 because that seemed like a good number from last time. And there we go. Add snapshot endpoint. Okay. And we need to do screenshot should go to snapshot.jpg. So now if we do this and we visit snap, fingers crossed. If this works, this is what we're gonna end on. It doesn't work because I didn't name them different. That's frustrating. Missed colliding. Push that. Try it one more time. And run. It'd be really nice to have this on this remote VS Code. This is kind of a pain. Ugh. I missed the squiggly line. Inky is not defined. What do you mean Inky is not defined? Inky. I thought I ended up copying that verbatim. Where is it? Okay. Just worky bleeding thing. Yeah, pretty much. That is a mood right there. Git commit. Net Inky and snap. All right. Please work. I will not even call you a bleeding thing. Okay, okay. Still blocks the web page, which is frustrating, but like it did the thing. I mean, we can keep playing around with it. I do want async. You saw a picture you haven't seen? Yes. Not a great picture for this. It's kind of washed out. But it's a picture. It's a picture. So I don't like that it's blocking in the web page, and I don't want to set up a whole queue in Python. And I might end up switching this to a JavaScript service, since I know I can just throw off async tasks. Like, frankly, I don't care if they actually finish or not. And we could just run the HTML.sh directly. Like, that would be fine. I mean, if it's just running those two things sequentially, and we could return something in the web page response immediately. So we'd be able to see something right away, and then it would update. So I think that's what we're going to call it. We did the thing. Thanks for sticking around, everybody. Yeah. We'll probably move stuff around next time. But yeah. Yeah, I think we'll probably just switch to JavaScript and just kick off a child process. It's easier than doing a queue. And I'm now more familiar with JavaScript than I am Python. It's been a while since I had to touch Flask, so I think we might just try that next time. It would be nice if we could get some other playwright or something to work, but you know, it is what it is. So it's what it is. All right. Well, thanks for sticking around, everybody. Gotta head out. Catch you all later.